Welcome to the World Numismatic Finds of US Quarter Dollar Coins, where history, design, and collectible value come together. Today we explore four remarkable pieces: the 1967 quarter with no mint mark, a classic from the transitional era of US coinage; the 1992 quarter bearing the P mint mark from Philadelphia, reflecting modern minting precision; the 1981 quarter struck at the Denver Mint with its bold D mark; and the 1998 Denver quarter, representing the final years before the celebrated state quarters program began. Each of these coins carries its own story, cultural significance, and collector's appeal, making them highly attractive to enthusiasts and investors alike. Whether treasured for their age, mint origins, or rarity in certain conditions, these quarters stand as shining examples of American numismatic heritage. Let's get started up with the 1967 quarter dollar of the United States of America. Is one of the most fascinating coins for collectors and history enthusiasts, and today we are going to dive deep into its background, design, and current market value, which makes it a standout in the world of numismatics. To begin, let's set the stage with some history. The year 1967 was an important period for US coinage because of the ongoing coin shortage of the mid-1960s and the changes that came with it. During this time, mint marks were intentionally omitted from all coins to discourage hoarding and to make distribution easier. That's why the 1967 quarter dollar, unlike coins from other years, has no mint mark at all, making it instantly recognizable and quite special in the eyes of a coin collector. Now, let's talk about the design. On the head side, also called the obverse, the coin carries the strong and dignified portrait of George Washington, the first president of the United States, which has been the symbol of the Washington Quarter Series since 1932. His profile, facing left, is a constant reminder of leadership, freedom, and the birth of a nation. On the tail side, or reverse, you will find the bold American eagle, wings spread wide with arrows and an olive branch, representing both strength and peace. This classic eagle design was featured for decades and is cherished for its patriotic symbolism, embodying America's values during a time of change and progress in the 1960s. From a cultural and historical perspective, the 1967 quarter is not just a piece of currency, but a coin that reflects the resilience of the nation's economy. The United States had recently transitioned away from using silver in circulating coins, and the quarter was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of the earlier 90% silver alloy. This shift symbolizes a turning point in American coinage history, when practical necessity met with economic change. Holding a 1967 quarter is like holding a reminder of that adjustment period when the government and the people were adapting to a new era in currency. The coin weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, standard for all Washington quarters of this era. It is a piece of precision minting, durable enough to withstand decades of circulation, yet still capable of showcasing fine details of Washington's profile and the eagle design when preserved in good condition. As for key facts, the 1967 quarter was minted in huge numbers, but the absence of a mint mark makes every example part of this unique chapter in coinage. While the average piece you might find in circulation today holds mostly sentimental and historical value, certain rare conditions elevate its desirability significantly. Well-preserved quarters from 1967 that have avoided the usual wear and tear are considered treasures for collectors. Especially in top-graded condition, their demand skyrockets because so few survived without scratches, nicks, or heavy wear. Now, this brings us to rarity and collector demand. While most circulated coins from 1967 may only be worth face value or slightly more, those rare, high-quality examples with exceptional strike and luster can fetch thousands of dollars. Some certified specimens in pristine mint state have shocked the coin collecting world with auction results. One such coin has reached a market value of nearly $39,500, while another extremely rare example crossed even higher, achieving around $43,800. These astonishing prices reflect not only the coin's rarity in such conditions but also the powerful demand among collectors who know how valuable a perfect example of this year can be. For collectors, the 1967 quarter serves as a reminder that even coins struck in massive quantities can hold hidden gems if you know where to look. My advice is always to carefully examine your pocket change, coin rolls, or family collections. Look for coins with sharp details, bright luster, and minimal marks, because these are the ones that stand out to grading services and auction houses. Preservation is key. Keeping coins in protective holders and away from environmental damage will only enhance their long-term value. In conclusion, the 1967 quarter dollar without a mint mark is much more than just a piece of change. It is a symbol of America's economic history, a canvas of patriotic design, and a sought-after treasure when found in top condition. With rare examples reaching values of $39,500 and even $43,800, This coin proves that something as ordinary as a quarter can transform into a collector's dream. If you're passionate about numismatics, keep your eyes open for this year's quarter, because you never know when you might come across a hidden rarity that could be worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and may your coin collecting journey always be filled with exciting discoveries and valuable finds. At number 2, our focus is on the United States quarter dollar from the year 1992, carrying the P mint mark from the Philadelphia Mint. At first glance, this coin may seem like just another common quarter that circulated heavily in the 1990s, but once you uncover the historical background, the cultural significance, and especially the market value it commands in rare conditions today, you'll realize just how special this coin truly is. Collectors around the country and even around the world are keeping a close eye on the 1992p quarter dollar because it is gaining recognition as one of the more desirable circulation pieces in modern American numismatics. To understand why the 1992p quarter stands out, we need to look back at its background. The coin belongs to the Washington Quarter series, which was introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The obverse of the coin displays the bold and iconic bust of Washington, a design that symbolizes leadership, resilience, and the foundation of the nation. On the reverse, we see the traditional heraldic eagle, wings spread proudly, holding arrows and olive branches that represent both strength and peace. This design had been a part of American coinage for decades and was still being struck in 1992 before later designs took over. The cultural and historical values tied to this coin go far beyond its face value. It is a miniature piece of art that reflects American ideals during a time of transition in the coinage world, especially just before the launch of the popular 50-state quarters program later in the decade. The 1992p quarter, like other quarters of its time, weighs 5.67 grams and is composed of a copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core. While millions were minted for circulation, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its desirability. Common, worn pieces are easily found in pocket change or old coin jars, but examples that have been preserved in pristine, uncirculated conditions can command serious attention. Collectors demand coins that retain their sharp strike, full luster, and no visible signs of wear, and it is precisely in these top-end conditions that the 1992p quarter transforms from a simple 25-cent coin into a highly valuable collectible. When we talk about rarity, it is not necessarily the mintage figure alone that defines the coin's worth, but rather the scarcity of surviving examples in outstanding condition. For the 1992p quarter, coins that grade at the highest levels from professional grading services can skyrocket in value. In fact, there have been recorded auction results where such a coin has sold for as high as $32,500, and in even more impressive cases, exceptional pieces with flawless surfaces have reached an incredible $39,000. That kind of market value shows just how much demand there is for this coin among serious collectors. It is important to remember that most circulated coins you may come across in your change will not be worth anywhere near these figures, but the possibility of owning a rare gem-quality example is what excites numismatists and fuels their passion for the hobby. For collectors who are interested in this coin, the key tip is to always examine condition first. Look for sharp details, a strong strike, and minimal contact marks. Storing coins properly in holders or albums is essential to maintaining their condition over time. If you happen to come across a 1992p quarter that looks unusually fresh or has been preserved since the year it was struck, it is always a wise idea to have it professionally graded, because the difference between an average circulated quarter and a high-grade rarity could mean the difference between just a few cents and tens of thousands of dollars. The collector's market thrives on coins that combine historical significance with rarity, and the 1992p mint quarter perfectly fits that description. In conclusion, the United States quarter dollar of 1992 with the Philadelphia P mint mark is much more than just spare change. It carries with it the proud image of George Washington, the legacy of American coin design, and a story that continues to grow in the world of coin collecting. With recorded values reaching $32,500 and even as high as $39,000, this coin proves that even modern circulation coins can achieve legendary status when preserved in the right condition. So the next time you check your old coin collection or search through a handful of quarters, keep your eyes open for this special piece of American history, because you never know, you just might be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting insights into rare and valuable coins from the United States. At number 3, the 1981 quarter dollar with the D mint mark, struck at the Denver Mint. This coin, though part of regular circulation, has in recent years become one of the hidden treasures for coin collectors and enthusiasts around the world. Many people may have come across this coin in their everyday change and never realized that certain well-preserved or rare varieties of the 1981D quarter can command astonishing values in the collector's market today. Let us take a deeper look at the background, the cultural significance, and most importantly, the current market worth of this remarkable piece of American history. When we talk about the background of the 1981 D quarter, it belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the nation's first president. By 1981, the design had already become an iconic representation of American currency. On the obverse side, we find the bold portrait of George Washington with the word liberty above his head and the phrase "In God We Trust" beside him, a strong reflection of both the values and traditions of the United States. The reverse of the coin carries the image of an eagle with spread wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing America's commitment to both peace and strength. This dual representation of ideals makes the coin not just currency but also a cultural emblem of the era it represents. From a cultural and historical standpoint, the 1981 D quarter reflects a transitional period in U.S. history, when the country was navigating changes in economy, politics, and society. Coins like this not only served as mediums of daily exchange but also carried with them reminders of the nation's enduring heritage and the leadership of George Washington. For collectors, this symbolism adds to the coin's appeal, elevating it beyond its face value into the realm of history that can be held in the palm of your hand. Now let's talk about the technical aspects of this coin. The 1981 D quarter was struck from a copper-nickel-clad composition, weighing 5.67 grams, with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a reeded edge. These specifications have remained standard for quarters since the mid-1960s, but what makes the 1981 Denver Mint issue stand out today is the condition in which some of these coins have survived. While hundreds of millions were minted, only a select few remain in pristine condition, and those are the coins that collectors eagerly pursue. The key facts that drive collector demand are the rarity and condition of the coin. Circulated examples of the 1981 D quarter are common and can usually be found at face value, but high-grade coins, particularly those that have avoided the wear and tear of circulation, are a different story altogether. Collectors know that superb examples with sharp details and clean surfaces are extremely difficult to come by, and as a result, such coins have become highly sought after in the numismatic community. This brings us to the market value of the 1981 D quarter dollar. While a worn coin may only be worth 25 cents in circulation, extraordinary specimens in near-perfect condition have been known to achieve incredible results at auctions and private sales. In fact, there are recorded instances where a flawless 1981 D quarter has fetched prices as high as $27,500, and in even more outstanding circumstances, rarer examples have reached up to $31,200 in value. These staggering amounts show just how much demand there is among collectors for this coin when it is found in exceptional quality. For a coin that most people think of as common pocket change, its potential market value is a true revelation. For collectors who are interested in this coin, there are a few helpful tips to keep in mind. First, pay close attention to the condition. Even small differences in quality can mean a massive difference in value. Look for coins with sharp edges, strong luster, and minimal surface marks. Coins stored carefully or preserved in coin holders from the time of mintage have the best chance of being in such a state. It's also important to authenticate rare high-value coins through trusted grading services, as a professional grade can significantly enhance the coin's credibility and selling potential. Patience, careful searching, and attention to detail are the keys to finding a gem that could be worth thousands of dollars. In conclusion, the 1981 D quarter dollar from the United States is far more than just a piece of everyday currency. It is a coin that embodies history, culture, and artistry while holding incredible potential value for collectors who are fortunate enough to find it in remarkable condition. From its patriotic design honoring George Washington to its role as a symbol of strength and peace, the coin resonates with meaning and legacy. And with values ranging into the tens of thousands of dollars for the finest examples, it has proven itself to be a true hidden treasure in the world of numismatics. So the next time you come across a quarter from 1981 with the D mint mark, take a closer look. You might just be holding a coin worth far more than 25 cents. At last, the 1998 quarter dollar coin minted in Denver, easily recognized by its D mint mark. While at first glance this coin might appear to be just another piece of loose change in your pocket, the truth is that it holds significant historical and collectible value, especially when we look deeper into its condition, rarity, and the surprising prices it can fetch in today's collector markets. The quarter dollar has long been a backbone of American currency, first introduced in the late 1700s as part of the foundational coinage of the United States. By the time the 1990s rolled around, the Washington quarter, first struck in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, had become an enduring symbol of American pride and culture. The 1998 D quarter was minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado during the last year before the launch of the famous State Quarters program in 1999, making it one of the final issues in the classic Washington quarter design series. This timing alone gives the coin a certain cultural and historical importance, as it represents the end of an era before a massive transformation in coin collecting would begin with state-themed quarters. From a cultural standpoint, the Washington quarter has always carried weight far beyond its face value. It honors the nation's first president, George Washington, whose portrait on the obverse symbolizes leadership, unity, and independence. On the reverse, we find the eagle design that had served for decades as a representation of American strength and resilience. The 1998 D quarter embodies this legacy while standing at the crossroads between tradition and change, as collectors today look at it not only as pocket change but also as a piece of numismatic history that bridges two important periods. In terms of specifications, the 1998 D quarter is composed primarily of copper and nickel in a clad combination, weighing 5.67 grams with a diameter of 24.3 millimeters and a reeded edge. While these may seem like standard facts, they serve as important details for identifying authentic pieces and understanding their production during that time. Millions of these coins were minted for circulation, which means most examples are found in average worn condition. However, rarity and value in coin collecting are often less about how many coins were struck and more about how many have survived in pristine condition. The key fact that makes the 1998 D quarter stand out in the collector market is its condition-based rarity. While circulated examples are quite common and usually worth only face value, the story changes dramatically when you look at high-grade specimens. A 1998 D quarter graded in mint state 65 condition has been known to sell for astonishing amounts at auctions, with prices reaching as high as $23,100. Even more remarkable are examples that have sold for $26,700 through well-known auction houses such as heritage auctions and online platforms like eBay. These record-breaking values are driven by the rarity of finding such a modern coin preserved in virtually flawless condition, without the scratches, marks, or wear that usually come with decades of circulation. For collectors, the 1998 D quarter presents a unique opportunity. It reminds us that even relatively modern coins, which might not initially seem rare, can become highly desirable under the right circumstances. The condition, or grade, of the coin is everything when it comes to determining its value. If you happen to come across a bright, well-preserved quarter from 1998 with a Denver mint mark, it is worth having it evaluated by a professional grading service, because you never know just how valuable it might turn out to be. When it comes to tips for collectors, the most important thing is to pay attention to detail. Always check for sharpness of the strike, the clarity of Washington's portrait, and the absence of wear or distracting marks on both the obverse and reverse. Storing coins in protective holders and avoiding unnecessary handling can also go a long way in preserving their condition. Additionally, keeping an eye on auction records and collector trends will help you better understand when the demand for a particular coin is at its peak. With modern quarters like the 1998 D, patience can be a key factor, because values often increase over time as more collectors realize the difficulty of finding high-quality pieces. In conclusion, the 1998 D quarter dollar is more than just a small denomination of US currency. It is a symbol of American history, the last of the classic Washington quarter series before the state quarters took over, and a hidden treasure for collectors who recognize its potential. With record values of over $23,000 in MS65 condition and even higher auction results touching $26,700, it has proven itself to be a coin worth watching and cherishing. So the next time you come across a 1998 D quarter in your pocket change, remember that while most may be common, the right one in the right condition could turn out to be an extraordinary find, making it not just a coin, but a true collectible treasure. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on this exciting journey into the history and value of US quarter dollar coins. If you enjoyed this video and found the information helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.